We're the three philosophers. The purpose of this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. We sometimes cover funny conversations. Sometimes we get into serious conversations. Mostly it's in jest. We don't take ourselves that serious. We hope you don't take us that serious. And if we ever say anything that offends anyone, we apologize.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what up, everybody? Ladies and mushroom tips. Yeah. Okay. Female or whatever you classify yourself as a gender, and mushroom tips.
No.
Amarita mascara?
There's only ladies and dudes.
Yeah, man.
There's only two.
Or psilocybin. No, there's Z's and Zers, and there's like 30.
Dude,
there's
okay,
37.
Look, if I was going to one of those schools, I would
There's-
complain and be like, "You have to call me God now." That is
Completely.
That's my preferred
Why not?
pronoun. If you don't call me God, I'm not doing anything.
You're gonna have to sit on the couch.
Mr. Mrs.
I'm not picking you up at all.
You sit in my lap.
You just sit in your own lap.
Yeah, that's possible. Watch this.
Yeah, do it.
So we're going to talk about retail?
Yeah, we're talking about our
everyone,
retail stories.
at least most people, except for white privileged bitches, mostly have to work like entry-level jobs like Taco Hell or retail, right?
Not me, man. I got white privilege.
Well, yeah.
I don't even have a job.
Yeah, but here
someone just pays me.
Currently, you're working at retail, so we can all share
As a side
stories
job.
of wild retail experiences. We want to jump right into titty money.
Yeah, man. I fucking hate that shit.
I actually talked to a customer today, and I pointed out the little sticker that we have that says no titty money, and the girl started rolling laughing. It was this black chick and this dude, and they were maybe making spaghetti because they kind of smelled odoriferous, as if maybe they were playing with oregano or something, some strong herbal agent.
Some strong herbal agent.
Yeah, and so I started talking about titty money, and I'm like, it's never like good titties, it's never good titties. And they reach in there, and there's like credit cards and receipts. I mean, I don't know if there's mouse, rats. I don't know what all's in there.
See
and
a lady pull out a coin purse one time.
Fucking
what? It had like $8 in it and nickels.
I can't stand that.
And it's always like it's always wadded up in like a sweaty ball, and they throw it on the counter and expect
gross.
you to
Why
like
do you want
uncrumple it. It's like, and then you hand them change, and it goes back in the void. Who knows? I mean, maybe that's where black holes are. They're in the freaking bras of quadruple D giant women.
I had one girl. I was working at Circle
I want
K.
to put money in my butt like a tampon.
And
drop my pants when I'm going to pay for something. Pull it out.
What?
Here you go.
It's kind of a similar situation, right?
I was going to school, and I was working part-time at Circle K in the morning. And we had one girl that would always come in. If she would walk, it seemed like she never took a shower. Kind of like that girl you want to have sex with.
Oh, snap.
That's okay. I think that's sexy as fuck.
Yeah, she was always wore a tank top, sweaty, gross, just nasty. She came up, wanted to buy a pack of 305s, and then I was like, okay, it'll be $3.95, please. And she was just like digging in her shirt.
Oh, and
put it on the table.
Why do they think this is okay? How, on what planet is it okay to dig inside your sweaty ass bra and hand me money?
Yeah, but I feel like, how many dollars were inside a stripper? Accumulatively. So, it's already been
put the money
inside somebody, but I need to.
She put the money on the table.
Out of your twat.
She put the money on the table, looked at me, looked at her, looked at the money, looked at her, and I was just like, I'm not taking that. That's gross. She's like, why? I was like, that just came out of your bra, and you just walked probably like 4 miles in 90-degree weather. She's like,
moist,
but it came out of my bra.
There's a sweat heat ring around the dollar that you just put on the table.
She's like, it came out of my boobs. Don't men like boobs? I was like, yeah, not gross boobs.
Not yours.
I'm not taking that money. I don't have to take your money. I'm not.
See your nipples.
I'm not serving you.
They look like this, like a pinky.
Okay, no one can see that. But
yeah.
Okay. Here's another weird thing about retail, especially when you talk about
like
tipping.
2 pencil racers stacked on top of each other.
Nice. You ever notice that like the people that drive up in the Mercedes, especially your white privileged assholes that have like polo shirts,
check your privilege at the door,
and all the in other words, the wealthy people never tip. Like today, I had a dude. And he came in, and it's that giant fat dude that always walks. I don't think he can drive. You know what I'm saying? He always comes in and gets like
I know
taco.
what you're talking about, yeah.
The giant fat dude. And he came in, and he had like $5 to his name, and he bought like $3.50 worth of vodka and put the rest in the tip jar. Why is it that the poorest people tip the best?
I don't know. Maybe they understand gratitude. They're appreciative of not having money, so they're charitable. I guess
it's I just think that's interesting that the people that don't have money tip, and the people that do have money are like, "Fuck you."
Oh, that's because poor people don't value money as rich people value money.
I learned that differently
when
I worked as a
rich
server.
people value money as a way of life. Poor people value money as a means to get through life.
Okay, that's valid. But also, maybe rich people, the reason they got rich is because they're fucking stingy ass dicks, and they hoard, and it's like, fuck you, I'm going to step on you and get mine, and that's why they're rich.
Yeah,
whereas poor people
weird.
Are friendly, and they're giving.
Like, how much money can you spend in a lifetime?
Yeah, like a billionaire. If I was a billionaire,
people who own
rich people, are the most frugal people I know.
Exactly.
Walmart.
The Waltons.
Doesn't their family have like $600 billion?
Yeah. Someone estimated that they would have to spend the equivalent of like winning a normal lottery, like $7 million a day for the rest of their life to be able to spend the money. So they would have to spend an entire lottery winning every single day until they died, and there would still be money left.
That's amazing.
So why do you sit on that? Especially when everyone around you is suffering. Why would you even sit on that?
If you're a billionaire, you can still
got the biggest pile.
$1 million
win.
But you don't even know.
That's how it works, though.
You literally could like solve like so many issues and not even feel it. No, it doesn't even it doesn't even register on your bank account. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but then you're not involved in the super group.
Well, but
the super cool group.
That's a new thing, because in the past, colleges were started by robber barons. They call them the robber barons. So the people who started big steel in the U.S., who started the railroads, who started factories, Henry Ford, all these people who made that kind of money, and they had, 1 million times more than the average American. There used to be a trend. It was like an unspoken handshake rule. They would give back to society almost like they felt guilt. So like Carnegie started tons of charities and trust funds, and he started theaters and just gave them to the public, donated to the arts. Vanderbilt in Tennessee, Vanderbilt. Commodore Vanderbilt started, and it was free tuition. And so it's like somehow that went out of vogue. Now that's not cool anymore. It used to be being a human being, even if you were a billionaire, was cool. Being human. And now if you're a billionaire and you're being human, that's like not cool anymore. Yeah. What's cool is greed.
Yeah, but
and selfishness. That's what's the trend.
But now money is equivalent to speech. So
it was back then too.
Now
nothing's
in
changed.
law.
Yeah, but in practice it was just as
same. Well, in law now, money is speech, so I have more words.
True, but the Waltons really don't get involved in politics. The Koch brothers, that validates your argument. But the Waltons,
they don't get involved in politics at all?
No, they really don't.
It doesn't seem feasible.
No, they don't. Look it up.
Like, they don't do anything that helps them benefit their company?
Well, their dad did everything. They're just trust fund babies. They're not really involved in the company. They hired a CEO who's not part of the family, and that CEO.
Well, they got to have some lobbyists somewhere that lobby for political shit.
All they do is mailbox money. Daddy did everything.
Mm-hmm.
Gave them a check. They said, "Peace out, bitches." They hired a CEO to run the company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the company runs the money, or runs the company. Or I'm sorry, the
company runs the company.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
That's pretty awesome, though.
The
I want a company
CEO
like
that they hired, right, runs everything, and they get checks in the mail.
Yeah.
So they're not involved in the company, and they're not involved in politics. They just live. They just do whatever.
Like the Baldwins.
Yeah, just peace out.
No, I don't even know if that's a thing. I just was thinking about the South Park movie. Hey, the Baldwins.
The Koch brothers, on the other hand, or what's his name, Shelton Adelson.
The guy who runs Fox News.
Well, he made his money in casinos. And have you seen a picture of that dude? You ever seen him?
Dude. That guy looks
like the Crypt
baby.
Keeper. He looks like the Crypt Keeper.
Looks like a baby that you put in a microwave and fed it a lot.
That's 100 years old.
Yeah.
He's got so much fucking plastic surgery. Dude, his hair looks, oh my God.
Whoa. What is that guy's name who said bad things about black people who owned a basketball team?
Yeah, I forget his name, but yeah.
I saw him in real life.
Really?
Yeah. Down in California, over in California.
I want to
say
we were
it's walking
Mark
down.
No,
like
that would be funny.
This is an old guy.
Like a strip mall area thing where like all the stores were like Michael Kors, et cetera, and when you walked inside, there was like one rack with 4 pieces of clothing on it,
like Beverly Hills.
Yeah, that area.
Versace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I was actually over in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
They had a really cool outside art thing.
Yeah, I've been there.
We didn't get to go to it, which was really upsetting.
But you ran into him, or you saw him?
Oh yeah, I saw his girlfriend,
Kobe.
Yeah, who's black, by the way.
Oh yeah, dude. Fucking
yeah.
Wow.
And he's like 90, and she's like 24.
Yeah. He's like
5'4", and she's like 6'2". And he's a racist fuck, like stone cold KKK.
Wow. Wow.
Exactly.
Man, that doesn't make sense.
Exactly. Well, dude.
Yes, it does, man.
Listen.
How?
Okay, listen.
Because money
You're
is
from
money.
Tennessee. You're from Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard the term high yellow? What's high yellow?
High yellow?
You've never heard that?
Isn't
like
that a mixed girl?
HIGHYELLO?
Yeah. High yellow.
That's a mixed girl.
Yeah.
That's it.
Where did that come from? Where did that term come from?
Pakistan?
It was in the old
Uganda?
South when there was slavery. The slave owners, the stuck-up rich white dudes who hated black people, would screw the servants, and the servants would have mixed babies, and all the other blacks called them high yellows. So the whole time they're going to their KKK rallies talking about purity of the race and, whites are superior. And then in the afternoon behind the woodshed, they're knocking them out a piece of black punani. Hypocritical fuck.
It's probably really good though.
That's why. That's why there's so many. I mean, there's no one hardly in the U.S. that looks like a true African. I mean, they're all light. I mean, very, very rarely do you see someone like black. And that's because all the people who own the slaves had sex with the women.
Oh yeah. That's why everybody has an ass.
Well, yeah, but if you're going to do that, don't turn around and be a lying, hypocritical fuck and go to a rally and talk about how black people are inferior and blah blah blah. And I wouldn't piss on them if they were on fire. You just had sex with one like 2 hours before the meeting.
Yeah, but that was their property.
Okay. And
this shit made me fucking on fire. I don't even know how to respond to that. I feel like corking you. Like put a cork in your ass.
Sean uses Dove Men Care Extra Fresh.
Did you see my sandalwood stuff too?
Dude, whatever. I like to use lady soap. Makes your body feel so good. Plus, it makes my body hair so soft.
I use Everman Jack sandal oil.
Like the lady soap that's got like you squeeze it out and it's got 2 different colors in it. That shit makes your. Well, I mean, if you were hairy as I was, then
as you was or as you is.
You classify as transvestite.
I'm too hairy to be a transvestite.
No, man. Never say never.
I did say never.
So my shirt got some crazy comments, all positive.
Oh, that's good.
And it's a big range from like this 22-year-old dude, scrawny little.
You're a piece of shit. Drill oil.
Never mind.
No, you didn't get that. I mean, I'm surprised.
Oh no, not at all.
Wasn't one old white Republican.
No. Everyone who said I had probably 6 to 8 comments, and every single one of them were positive.
Good job. That's good.
And it was weird because one was like this old white lady, one was this young kid and his girlfriend, and one was this giant military-looking dude, like with a high tie, looked like a cop. And he had one of the most interesting conversations. He was like your shirt, dude. I'm like, oh yeah, you've been following it? And he said, yeah. He said, it's bullshit. And I said, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I said, what I don't get is my tax dollars are paying for these corporate hired thugs. Aren't they supposed to protect us? And I said, it kind of reminds you of the Pinkertons. He said, it's never stopped. Like he jumped right on it. He said, cops, the police in the U.S. started from the Pinkertons. And the Pinkertons were a private, basically private security hired back in the old West time to like do whoever had the money. They would hire the Pinkertons to like, they were thugs. And then later that turned into when factories started, if people tried to form a union to like get like, hey, I don't want to work 27 hours straight. Let's form a union. They would bring in the Pinkertons and just break your kneecaps.
Oh, cool. 27 hours sounds cool. Sounds like a great time.
Or kids, like when 6-year-old kids were working in coal mines, and we were trying to say that
people know that some gases came out.
Right. And so anyway, he was like, quoting history to me. And so it was like really unexpected because he was like, I don't know, you just don't judge a book by its cover, It was very positive.
I judged you, found out I was wrong. You are a flaming homosexual.
Nice.
Yeah.
Solid.
I love you too.
Is my voice popping up on that thing?
Look, that's your voice.
We must talk louder, or you need to turn up the gain.
The gain is turned up.
Oh, cowabunga! There it goes. That's better.
So, any other retail pet peeves that you would like to discuss?
Okay. How about a gang full of stoned women pull up to a drive-thru of a liquor store and, yo, y'all have tequila? Yeah. What kind y'all got?
Most of them.
For those
like 200 kinds
who don't understand what we are talking about, down in the South, like south of Tennessee, liquor stores with drive-thrus are a thing.
Yeah, they're a thing. And so anyway, they pull up to a liquor store in the drive-thru and ask if you have tequila. Well, yeah, of course you have tequila. Well, what kind y'all got? Like, I'm supposed to name like the 700 varieties that there are. Well, what sizes do they come in? What kind of
tequila? What size tequilas you have?
Well, how much would that be?
Do they come in different colors? Are they mixed already? Do you have wine coolers?
I'm like, maybe you should just come in.
I don't know.
No, my favorite though, and back to white privilege, my favorite is old, like 80-year-old, senile rich white women.
Fucking
they
drive.
Are the worst customers, period. Like, how about the one that drives up to the drive-thru and wants you to individually bag 12 bottles of booze? She's in the drive-thru, and then she wants to drive around front and have someone from the store put it in her car for her. What?
And then, when you go to her car, she has to take off her glasses and put on another set of glasses to find out where the unlock button is for her door to push it.
Yeah. So she's driving around on the streets today.
We have a palm tree that sits right next to a parking spot. And that lady, when I was working a Saturday morning, she came in. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll put it in your car. Can you pull it around, please? And I have people in the store. So people left. She was waiting patiently to get her booze. And I walked outside. And the parking spot, just imagine a parking spot straight forward towards a building. And to the left of that parking spot is a palm tree. Her bumper, not only was she parked sideways in the parking spot, her bumper was that far away from the palm tree, like 5 inches. I was just like, lady, you need to retake your test. Somebody needs to take away your license. You can't drive.
You know how apparently in Israel, like everyone has to serve 2 years in the military. It's like mandatory, male and female.
Yeah, like Russia.
Right. I think in the U.S., since we are capitalists and everything's about fucking money anyway, everyone should have to serve 2 years in retail.
Yeah, have to.
Just so that they could understand how many dicks and assholes and douches are in the world. And then maybe the result of having to deal with that would make them a better person. Follow me?
Yeah.
So bitch that pulls up to the window and says individually, she should have to work retail.
Mm-hmm.
So that she gets what those kind of people are like.
It's not
and
that
maybe
we're
she
mad
won't be
about,
one.
Individually bagging bottles. It's more of the fact that they're plastic bottles.
Well, it's beyond that. It's like this sense of entitlement.
I think if the sun hits her skin breaks. That's how old she is. Like UV rays totally cut her.
I believe.
Yeah. But what's funny is, again, and I hate to get into this class system again, but it's like poor people are, for the most part, even the drunk poor ones, for the most part, are at least funny.
Yeah.
You know, they don't take themselves too serious, and they're easy to deal with. You can kind of fuck with them a little bit, and they'll get the jokes.
I mean, it depends on how drunk they are.
Well, yeah, for the most part. But it's almost like the richer you become, the less human you become, and the more you want everyone to kiss your ass, and the more of a dick you become.
Yeah.
It's like some of these, and you try to crack jokes with some of these people, and they're just like, you know, give you this dead stone face look. It's like, don't waste my time, you underling.
Yeah.
You run a cash register. You're not good enough to lick my boot.
But when it comes to
I can see from those people's perspective, because sometimes I don't even want to have human interactions.
But when it comes to old people driving, I feel that you should retake your test when you hit a certain age. You should retake the driving test. Well,
for sure. I mean, we've had, dudes that are 90 years old that, it's like, it's scary.
I mean, on the way to come visit you at work, we were driving down Blue Angel, which is like, it was 55 miles an hour, and a lady pulls out in front of me.
Doing like 20.
Yeah. I mean, she
can't even see over the steering wheel.
Yeah. Pulls out, going 35 miles an hour. I'm going 55. Pulls out when I'm 3 car lengths away from her, and drives 35 miles in a 60 mile an hour zone.
I mean, I sympathize, because when I'm 90, I don't want to have to rely on anyone else. I want to be independent.
That.
I mean, I get that.
You're endangering other people.
Exactly. There comes a point where
there's a limit.
Yeah, something's got to give.
Yeah, I mean, we're all going to be there.
And, here's the thing is, again, with the U.S. being so fucking hung up on the automobile, we don't have public transportation. In Europe, there's bullet trains, there's, so if you...
That'd be so cool if there was a train from New York to California.
Oh, fuck yeah. And trains are cheap. I mean, trains are super cheap.
Yeah.
And there was just a train that went from Florida to Maine.
Well, I-10, right? Interstate 10 runs from Jacksonville to Los Angeles. Just run that route.
Yeah, that's a 42-hour drive.
Dude, I could hop on a train and be in New Orleans in however amount of time and having drinks.
From here it takes, I think, 8 hours
to New Orleans.
No,
3 hours.
Yeah,
3 hours by car.
I forgot where I was.
But you could totally take a train like New Orleans, and you could stop off in like Dallas, and you can do like San Antonio. And
then people would be able to backpack the United States, and maybe more people would be in tune with what the people in California dub as the flyover states.
Exactly.
I did air quotations.
Exactly.
When I
That's
said
why I don't like
flyover
flying.
states.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why I don't like flying unless it's in dire need.
Are you
like I
kidding
need
me?
to be there that day?
I hate flying.
Yeah.
Well,
I've done so much of it. It fucking sucks.
The weird thing is
flying in a plane is like that feeling when your nutsack gets hot and sticky and sweaty. There's nothing you can do about it.
I feel like when you fly, when you're taking a plane,
that feeling that your nuts have is what you feel like when you're on a plane.
I feel like when you take a plane, like take a trip, and you're going to, like, let's say from Florida to Kansas. I think you miss out so much when you just fly a plane.
Dude, when I first got my job,
I don't know, man. Staring at some clouds, you can fucking lose your goddamn mind sometimes. Clouds are dope as fuck.
When I first got my job in Charlotte, I lived here, and I wasn't transferred up there yet. So I worked in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I lived in Pensacola. So I would hop on a plane Monday morning, and I would fly to Charlotte.
Yeah.
And then I would fly back Friday afternoon. I did that for 3 months.
That's too much.
3 months I'd fly. And, of course, Pensacola doesn't go direct. So you have to fly from Pensacola to Atlanta.
Now it's direct. Back then it wasn't. Within 4 years ago.
I flew U.S. Air.
Yeah.
And you would have to fly from Pensacola to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And from Atlanta to Charlotte.
Yeah. And then back the same route. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's just insanity.
It
used to be to get on an airplane, everyone wore their Sunday best. They got all dressed up, and there were like fantastic meals. It was like an experience. It was like
I remember having food on an airplane.
And now you're just fucking cattle.
You know, the fish and the chicken.
Like in 2008, I would have to take a plane to Atlanta, from Atlanta to Nashville. Now I can get a direct flight, and it's like
but I'll tell you a difference.
Yeah.
So, I used to have to fly to LA a lot from here, and
man, that's a long ass.
That's a long ass flight.
Don't they call that the red eye?
No, red eye's timing. It's like a midnight flight.
Yeah, but that's flying from the eastern seaboard to the western seaboard.
No, it's a time. No.
Yeah, because you're flying to like 3 different time zones.
You know what else is a really long flight?
A red eye is
Mississippi,
a late
Cuba.
flight. So a red eye could be from here to Atlanta if it's like a 2 a.m. flight. It's called the red eye because it's late. But anyway, in the U.S., they treat you like cattle. If you start flying some of these other airlines, it's a totally different experience. Like when I went to Peru and when I went to Chile, I flew LAN. And LAN treats you like fucking royalty. Dude, you get these weird, like these buns with like meat inside.
Whoa!
You get all this food, and there's movies.
Filipinos cooking in the back.
Well, LAN is South America, but it's some kind of like empanada. It's like an empanada.
That's what I was trying to say.
But dude, these
came to mind
these foreign airlines like JAL or the Japanese airlines or Korea Air and all they still treat you like royalty. It's a different experience.
I want to marry
Americans.
Filipino.
I'm just telling you, we're sick. We have as a society, the society as a whole has a mental illness revolving around money and doing more with less. And it's all about fucking money, and they treat you like fucking cattle. Everything's about fucking money, cut costs. How can we do more for less, cheaper?
Yeah.
And we suffer. These foreign airlines, dude, I'm telling you, if you fly foreign, it's a night and day different experience.
Yeah.
They treat you like a king. It was fucking wonderful. I mean, granted, it was a 15-hour flight from Los Angeles to Santiago, Chile. That's a long fucking flight. But again, fly and LAN, I recommend those to anyone, man. LAN's a fucking awesome fucking airline.
I love driving. If I'm going anywhere in the U.S., I drive. I drove from Nashville, Tennessee, all the way to Manhattan, New York.
Dude, I've driven from Pensacola to Los Angeles 6 times.
Yeah, it's a great trip to make.
It's a long. Texas is like 2 days.
That's 12 days.
Yeah, Texas is like 2 days. Yeah. All the other states, no problem. Texas?
Oh, yeah. Texas was the second biggest state?
Oh, my God.
Next
It's
to Alaska?
brutal.
Yeah, it's a fucking motherfucker.
And then, okay, so here's
and the roads suck.
Well, that's what I was getting to.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the other thing. So in every other country that has oil, like let's talk about Kuwait or Saudi Arabia or Iraq or whoever, right?
Sharia law?
Right in the middle of a good story.
Can
you had to
piss. Can you sit on the couch?
No.
I was right in the middle of a good story and you had to piss. Where was I at?
Oh, man, I can't wait to get 2 months.
It was good.
What
were we
Kuwait.
talking about? Oh, yeah.
Oil countries.
Okay, so get this. Thank you. So
Sandstorms?
every other country, when they drill oil and they make money off that oil, the oil comes from the land of the people. Even Saudi Arabia and all these people who aren't quote unquote democratic. And so they take a portion of the proceeds of the profits, right, off that oil and they give it to the people. So example, in Kuwait, your very first house, anyone, if you're a Kuwaiti citizen, is free. Because they're making all this money off the oil that they're digging from the land, and the land is everyone's land, right? Yeah. And so you get a kickback. The people get the kickback. The only place in the U.S. that does that is Alaska. Every Alaskan citizen.
Oh, yeah. Don't they get like $12,000?
Exactly.
Or $2,000.
It's something, but they get something.
Every year. Just for living
that's
there.
my point. So Texas
like,
makes all their money off oil.
Well,
and when you drive,
it's the same thing up in the Midwest. If you buy some land, they will build you a home.
Well, my point is, in Texas, all this land, especially when they drill on public land, we're not talking about drilling on private land. We're talking national parks. We're talking public land.
Yeah.
Why is it in the U.S. and only in the U.S. private companies can drill on public taxpayer land, make gazillions of dollars, and nothing goes back to the people? Why is that okay?
What's the eminent domain amendment?
It started, eminent domain was about things that related to like national security. So we have to make an interstate highway and we're going to go east to west so that during World War II we can transfer tanks and equipment to the port so that we can fight the Japanese, right? That's kind of where eminent domain came from. So it was for national security. It was something that benefited the good of the country. So the government steps in and says, listen, we've got to make this interstate, or we've got to run this power line or whatever for everybody. Well, lately, eminent domain has been used strictly for private corporations. It has absolutely nothing to do with national security and nothing to do with, and that's because all the politicians are fucking prostitutes. I think they should dress like NASCAR. They should have to wear a jumpsuit that has all the stickers, that says Lockheed and says BP and says, all their donors. They should have to wear patches.
He killed himself.
But the point is, Texas has shit roads, and if they're making all this money, off the oil, then at least pave the fucking roads.
My nigga. Oops. Caucus.
Nice. You said that like 30 times the last podcast, the one I posted.
But every other country gives back to their citizens. The private companies give back. It's mandatory. It's law. And these are companies that chop your head off.
Billions and billions of fucking dollars. You might as well fucking give back to the people.
So why can't we do that in the U.S.?
Because we're greedy pieces of ass.
Exactly.
Man, that's so weird.
You should get a check.
That's so weird.
You should get a check.
Every time $20,000 check.
Every time the forestry department goes into Blackwater State Forest in Santa Rosa County, right?
Yeah.
And logs, a percentage of that profit should go to us.
Well, yeah. Because we're paying for those assholes to log.
Exactly.
We should just use weed.
Huh?
To make paper.
Well, I totally agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And plastic bags. Hemp oil.
Yeah, and it's biodegradable plastic.
Exactly.
That'd be dope.
Completely.
That means the Sargasso Sea wouldn't be full of garbage.
I just found that out today.
What?
About the Sargasso Sea.
I don't know if that's how you say it properly.
Are you talking about in the Pacific?
Yeah.
Dude, get out from under a rock, brother.
Sargassum Sea.
I probably heard about it, but I probably didn't hear how he described it.
Like most Americans.
Oh man, you've even seen these things.
Oh, it's horrible.
They're the weird things that have the
squishy
little
Remember the scene in the very first Star Wars?
The slimy plants with the little balls that are the size of what are those things you put in Bloody Marys? Olives. That are clear and
what are those?
And they're squishy.
Get the fuck out of here. Leave. Okay. You're fired.
So remember the very first Star Wars, like the 1978 Star Wars scene, and they were in the trash compactor. Remember what that looked like?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a scene like that.
You're talking about the porno version or the regular version?
The regular
porno version is fucking amazing.
Okay, listen. There's trash that looks like that.
I might have to cut this early.
The size of fucking Texas.
Yeah.
That's in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and no one does a fucking dick about it. It's like. Out of sight, out of mind, niggas.
No, man, I don't believe this. Fucking piece of shit.
I said Niggas. That's
niggas?
Like, that's niggas.
No, that's still in the same category where people will get
I still
angry.
have to cut all of that shit out.
Niggas?
Like Niggas?
Look, okay. So
look, I'm Native American, so fuck y'all.
Nobody gives a shit.
I don't even give a fuck, dude. I feel like
it's black.
I feel like it's the same thing that was in Harry Potter with the one who cannot be named.
Did we just really bring in
Whoa! He brought in Harry Potter!
Voldemort is the same as nigger. The more you say it, the less power it's gonna have.
So we should all say it.
We should all say nigga. It's a goddamn word.
Oh man, I can't play any of that.
Sure you can.
No, I can't.
This is controversy is part of the podcast.
Super duper raw.
It absolutely is.
No, it is not.
Oh, so now we're gonna make a politically correct podcast.
No, screw
Fuck
that.
you.
Oh
Fuck
yeah,
you.
because I don't want to put in a racial slur.
Fuck you. It's a joke.
Oh my goodness. It's a word.
It's like comedy, freedom of speech.
Right?
Yeah, whatever.
We just talked about transgender and Zer and Z and Mr.
Guess
Mrs.
what? It's not going to be in the podcast.
It should be.
Whatever.
It should be.
No, it's not.
We need a new producer.
For it.
We need it.
I advocate for
2
being
to 1.
in there.
This is a democracy.
Yeah, democracy.
2 to 1.
Okay.
You're outvoted.
Look, if the more controversy, the more eyes.
Guess who edits?
The more eyes, the more
there
money.
You go.
No, man.
Yes.
I'm not putting that shit in the podcast.
Yes.
If you want to put it in the podcast,
but
you can build a computer and
you can be free.
Matter.
You didn't say it. We did.
It don't matter.
This isn't a dictatorship.
That's what I'm saying. I say do it.
Does Joe Rogan experience it?
Yes.
Yes.
Actually,
yes.
Did he say it?
Yes.
Specifically.
Yes.
Still not going to be mine.
That's because it's silly.
It's not yours. It's ours.
Okay, whatever.
It's not yours.
I'm not putting that in the
problem.
podcast. You put shit in like that.
One person can't outvote 3.
Yeah, but YouTube can take away our money because we do shit like that.
No, it's in podcasts all the time.
Black people say nigga all the time.
It's in podcasts all the time. And white people say it.
Yeah, and we got demonetized for our last podcast.
Who? Because
we talked about suicide.
Demonetized this
You're
time.
serious. You didn't tell me this.
No, I just found out today.
We got demonetized because we talked about suicide.
Because we talked about suicide.
You're shitting me.
No,
we can't
YouTube
even have foul
super
language.
duper dickish.
Fuck YouTube. We get demonetized for that?
Probably.
Fuck YouTube? Yeah, probably. We can get demonetized if we say fuck a lot.
Man.
Jesus Christ.
YouTube is turning into a television.
Anonymous, please help us.
The U.S. is turning into fucking Nazi Germany.
Yeah, we can't.
What happened to freedom of speech?
We need to have...
This conversation needs to be on there, the whole thing.
Yeah.
All of
we
it.
can talk
us
about
arguing
YouTube.
about it being on there and not being on there.
Exactly.
And you'll be in the clear because you were fighting against it.
And being demonetized, this definitely needs to be.
Because saying that is stupid. I believe.
Saying what is stupid?
The N-word.
Dude,
regardless
of
what
every time somebody says that, I think of the Louis C.K. skit.
Are you putting it in my fucking head?
Yeah, you're putting it in my head. Why don't you just say the fucking word?
Can I not make fun of Asian drivers? What about how Indians own liquor stores?
How does that?
Can I talk about Indians and
dots
owning
or
liquor
feathers.
stores?
That's,
dots or
that's
feathers.
The stereotypes.
Yeah, exactly. Can we say dots or feathers?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're being the censor.
Right?
No, I'm saying
you are trying to censor
You
us.
are censoring us before we even get censored.
Throw it out there, see what happens.
Right? I mean, 5 people watch it anyways.
Exactly.
So we're going to make 5 people upset for
exactly
all of 5 seconds.
Oh,
Whatever. All
it's
words...
funny because all the other ones him and I were arguing now. It's like we got it.
Yes!
Okay. Then how about next time you go to work, just go randomly saying...
I kind of did. I said, y'all are not like... We don't accept your kind here.
Yeah, but go up into some random black guy you don't know.
What's up, nigga?
Yeah, and say that.
Why not?
I can probably get away with it. I'm probably dark enough I can get away with it.
Man, I'm darker than you are.
Dude, look, it doesn't even...
Whatever.
It doesn't even matter.
Whatever.
You're a shade of peach.
I'm darker than you.
Wow. Yeah.
What about me?
You're white.
You're
white.
The only reason why your
Unless
skin
I
looks
take my
dark is
shirt
because your
off.
fucking hair is black.
Yeah.
No, man, I don't agree with that being on.
I think the whole thing should be on there,
I think
man.
so, too. 2-1.
I think it would be a disservice to us to not put it on
I
there.
totally agree.
2-1.
Due to the fact
Who
that
puts
this
the most
is,
hours
this,
in this bitch?
if we are called philosophers,
Dude.
then there should be nothing that
There's
we should
3
be
of
able to
us.
not speak about.
Yeah.
Philosophy
there
is
should
straight
be,
ideas.
Exactly. There should be nothing off limits. We should be able to say anything. You don't censor us. Dude, no.
Yeah, look,
We don't censor anything we say.
In
but there's a
philosophy,
fucking line.
one of the
No, there are no lines.
so I was listening to
Yeah,
Sam
I'm not going
Harris.
to say that Native Americans are pieces of shit and we should take their land.
Yeah, I didn't say something. I didn't say a racist slur about
Actually.
black people being niggas.
Exactly.
I just said the
we
word
didn't even
nigga.
mention black people at all.
No.
At all.
I'm just
If
saying.
we are supposed to be,
Some people can get offended by it.
Good.
I think
If you are worried about
in the context
upsetting
we said it,
a
no
small
one's going to get
minority
offended.
of people,
Small minority.
Who's going to get offended in the
Wow.
context we used it?
That's a small minority.
We were calling each other niggas.
people who get upset, you don't know. You don't know the number of people who are not going to get upset. The
So
number of
small
people. Who
number
Okay,
of
would
people
Dregs
as a
would
minority.
if Dregs was listening to this right now, would he get upset with us?
No.
I don't know. I've never said that in front of him.
Really?
I don't know.
Just use your brain.
I
dude.
don't know.
Just use your brain.
I don't know.
Seriously?
I mean,
Some
through friend
people-
you are
context.
full of shit.
No, I'm not.
I'm asking you about Dregs specifically.
Dregs
Answer the question.
or dreads?
Dreads.
Okay. No, I don't know. Because I have a friend that if you said that word, he would get offended regardless of how cool he is with you.
Good.
We even spelt it.
He doesn't even say the fucking word. It doesn't matter how you spell it. For some people, they
Oh
don't give a
my
shit.
goodness!
Christ.
Why you are giving
Really?
so much power to one word that
I'm
does not
not.
deserve
I'm
that
talking
power?
about the certain
Exactly.
people that
You
can get
are.
offended by
You're
it.
saying that because of
Exactly.
this one word, we can't say it because X amount of
Ever
people
again,
are
we're
going to be
We're
offended.
going to erase it because...
If on,
Dude, then why
if-
are we even having the podcast at all?
Why are we even having this discussion?
Because you're being a
because
chicken
we're
shit.
philosophizing.
No.
Is
You
that
are being
how
a
you say
chicken
that?
shit, yes.
If we are doing that, then we should be able to say anything.
You're trying
if
to
we are
censor something that doesn't
philosophizing,
need to
I
be
should
censored.
be able to say, "Hey, we should eat babies."
Yeah. No one... I didn't take you serious.
Morally, yeah.
And this conversation is context.
yeah.
No one takes this conversation
But we're talking
serious.
about a fucking YouTube channel.
Exactly.
The people that can possibly just blow up.
Comedians are on YouTube channels.
Comedians are on TV.
And YouTube channels.
They can't say that on TV.
Yeah.
No, they can't.
I'm pretty
On
sure
public
they can.
television.
What?
They might get beeped, but you know
they
they said
get beeped, but
Dude.
it. It was still said.
People
You know-
say
like
bitch
you
and
say
people say
bitch and
dick
fuck and
on
dick
TV
and
now.
ass and
yeah,
TV.
okay, look.
You know who?
Dude,
would be
Are you
really-
what
living
I'm
in the
saying.
1950s?
No, what I say is that some people, you're comparing to eating babies to how some people think
No,
it could
I
be
am
you using
comparing
it as a racial slur.
saying and having the thoughts of eating babies falls into the same category of saying whatever word you want because we are in a philosophical context.
Exactly.
No word,
Nothing
no
we're saying is
sentence,
serious.
no thought should be thrown out of the realm because this is all thoughts. This is all thought provoking.
1000% agree.
you know what?
And if we are philosophizing, then this is going to produce thought-provoking material.
Exactly.
Regardless if it's negative or positive.
And this
people are
is a
still
good
going to be
conversation.
thinking.
This is a very good debate that people need to think about in society in general. Is why do we get hung up on words and get offended in context when it's not meant to use that way? It's obvious how I used the word that it was not offensive. It's obvious.
Either way,
I did not use it as a slur.
Black people or white people should.
So then
you're missing the point. You're missing the point.
So
is the purpose of this podcast to get people to think?
Yeah, but
let's get people to think.
So you're saying
you were saying it in a way to think, though.
Let me
yes,
do
I
this.
Did.
Let me go. Let me go.
Let's talk about using the N-word.
You are saying we should not use that word.
You just said the N-word, and I said we shouldn't have it in the podcast.
Which I says bullshit.
Yeah, agree. And
based
here
on context.
is going to be my argument. You want to take out one word because it offends people.
Yeah.
How many other words that we use offended people? And how many words do we need to take out of the podcast now? Because people we do not know are going to be offended.
Exactly.
Even though when they see the first 10 seconds, it says philosophers. We are in a philosophical context.
Just bullshitting, basically.
Just bullshitting. Now we need to take out the word tranny that we said earlier.
Exactly.
Because that offends people.
Definitely would offend people.
Super offends people.
Completely.
Well, regardless.
Let's start censoring ourselves. It's a slippery slope, dude.
Yeah.
Where are you going to draw the line?
Freedom of speech
You're either all in
has
or you're all out.
limit.
You're either all in or all out, dude.
You're putting a limit on
what's the point of the podcast? The point of the podcast is to get people to think.
Because I want to take out one word.
Yes.
Because I don't believe you should fucking say that.
Yes, that's your opinion.
That is my opinion.
Okay, but you're not the dictator here.
I don't believe any race should say that. It's just fucking redundant.
Why are
just because tranny doesn't offend you doesn't mean it doesn't
offend people. Yeah.
Are you going to take that one out too?
No.
Why not? Because it doesn't offend you.
I mean, it could offend anybody at this point.
Okay, there's 3 people. This is a community. The podcast is owned by all 3 of us. Yes, you bought the microphone.
Wasn't brought all the way here like one word was.
Well, sure it is reaching.
No, it has not.
It is reaching that point
it's getting that point for sure.
Oh yeah, because some people don't want to believe in fucking science.
Okay.
What does science have to do with it? We're talking about people being offended by goofy ass things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people don't want to get offended by gender.
Exactly.
I don't classify
We
as gender.
just watched a documentary about Anonymous. The whole point of Anonymous is to troll people on
exactly.
I'm going to go take a piss.
Just to fuck with
on things that you should not be offended with.
Exactly. As a joke.
You
saw the little cartoon thing that they used to do.
No, I only watched a little bit of it.
Oh, they do this little cartoon thing?
This is ridiculous.
I
do not agree with what is taking place at the. We're in a philosophical context.
We have to have
in a philosophical debate, I should be able to bring up.
Anything.
Hey, you know what? I think it would be good for society if we ate every third baby. Why is what? And then we could have a moral discussion about why that would be good and why that would be bad.
I could tell you were totally full of shit. And I could spit.
And then I could give you maybe reasons of why it would benefit people.
Completely.
That doesn't mean it's going to take place.
And it also
in a philosophical context, there should be nothing off the table.
And it doesn't mean either one of us are serious.
Yes,
we did.
We are in a philosophical context right now. We are called the 3 philosophers.
We started the conversation.
Yeah.
We started the conversation. It was a joke. Like comedians use jokes.
Okay.
And it was nigga.
What'd you say?
I didn't say, I don't know, go back. I don't even remember.
I don't even remember either. It was something about nigga.
Dude, I'm telling you. No, you wanted to go back because you said, well, how did you say it?
Both of you fuckers said, look it up.
Because you said.
Yeah, because you got upset about
what context did you say it? And I'm like, I don't fucking remember.
Yeah, look, and then both of you is like, okay, we don't.
Regardless of whatever happened, you got upset about a word. And how ridiculous is that?
This is agree to disagree.
I think it's a good podcast. I think it's one of the better ones. I think we're starting to get somewhere.
Yeah.
And to your point, I think
maybe we should just talk about more controversial things.
Well, that, and I think the other thing that when you don't have bullet points and you just stumble into stuff, so I think that's how you find your gold. Because you just wander around a trail and then all of a sudden you end up, and that's how you find something like boom.
That's why I
set damn, did you see what's inside that cave? Exactly. Gold, son!
That's why I set bullet points, because you have a basis of what's going on, and in transition, you stumble into shit.
But some of the best shit come on accident.
Exactly.
And I think that's what just happened. That's what just happened.
I still feel we are telling people we're in a philosophical setting.
Completely.
So nothing should be wrong.
Okay, how about this? Here's a compromise. So at the beginning of this podcast, put a disclaimer. We're the three philosophers. We talk about random bullshit for entertainment purposes only. Under no circumstances do we ever intend to offend anyone. Everything we say is in jest. I mean, we don't take ourselves serious. We hope you don't take us serious. And, this may or may not be controversial to some people, but understand the context. And we just put it out there because, I didn't mean anything by it.
No. It's a word.
And we should be allowed to, times are changing. Things are different in how they used to be.
I'm just saying.
That used to be a racial slur.
I don't agree how YouTube conducts their policies towards advertising because then that censors me.
Yeah, and we should try to push the limit. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't go over that limit, but we should try to push those boundaries.
I'm totally for that. I'm not against, not for censorship. I believe because prior to 2012, demonetization wasn't a thing.
Exactly.
This was never, anybody could say fuck, shit, fuck.
I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I totally get where you're coming from.
I hate it. But we can push the limits, but there has to be
Now, there has been podcasts of a lot of people talking about YouTube specifically on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're bitching about this. So maybe if enough people, maybe that's the next podcast. Maybe we talk about that. Maybe that's the topic.
Well, we are in a podcast with only 56 minutes in. We can still talk about YouTube.
That's a whole new podcast.
We can still touch base.
I think we're pretty much done.
But that's the thing. When I found out we got demonetized because we were just talking about suicide.
So how do you know that they demonetized? How does that show up?
On your YouTube channel, if you go under video managers and you have your videos, which I'll show you after, you have a $, a globe, and like 3 dots, I believe. And on the $, if it's green or blue, if it has a slash through it, or some other shit. There's many icons that this $sign can take place. But if it's green, that means your YouTube is monetized. Your YouTube video is monetized. You're receiving AdSense. If it has a slash through it, that means it was demonetized because of.
Do they tell you? Do they give you a reason?
No, it depends. If it just says. Like ours said, not eligible for monetization or ads or some stuff like that.
And this was the one you and him did by yourself.
Yeah, which it could be vague on the point of you were talking about sexually explicit content. There was explicit content, like sexually explicit content, like pornography on your video.
So you're guessing it has to do with the suicide.
I'm guessing it has to do with the suicide.
But that was the only one that's been demonetized.
That's the only one that's been demonetized. Yeah. Or it could be the so much because you can get taken out by swearing.
Dude, I think this is our next podcast.
You can get taken out by swearing for so many times you swear you can get taken out.
We need to be very specific so that people know. And just like the Standing Rock thing, if enough people stand up, I'm telling you, people sway.
Yeah,
people sway. We need. I think that needs to be another goal of the podcast. Is definitely entertainment, but I would like to make a difference, a positive difference in society. That's how I roll personally. I would like to use this as a medium.
Are you guys not hot? Yeah. I didn't even drink any tequila. It's fucking hot as shit.
I got a computer running, a monitor running, a mixer going.
A bunch of snakes.
And 3 dudes in a room, and it's a 200 square foot room. Of course, it's going to get fucking hot.
Dude, it's not 200 square foot. This is like a 10 by 8.
Yeah, something like that. I'm just giving it.
This is solitary confinement cell.
Yeah, completely. I think that should be our next podcast.
Yeah, we'll touch base on YouTube in our next podcast because I don't believe in being demonetized because you're swearing. I do believe in freedom of speech, even though I'm
well, if you don't believe that YouTube should censor us, then why are you trying to censor it?
He's trying to be preemptive.
Well, fuck it.
I agree.
I'm not against what you're saying.
I'm against saying that
here.
It's like
Yeah, but you never know. We can pop up shit and all of a sudden we jump up.
I would like to specifically on the next podcast talk about being demonetized for that one podcast and see how many comments we get.
And I can't talk about how
People
much
are probably
money
like,
we
that's
make.
bullshit, man.
Yeah. And the thing is, you mentioning how much we make on our YouTube channel, I can't say that. It's another thing we can't talk about.
Well, our podcast is already done.
Yeah, I mean, but you've mentioned